Now, 5 years after floods devastated parts of the region, the last of the major defences created in the wake of that disaster are due to open this weekend. The village of Kempsey in Worcestershire has been protected as part of a £10 million package of flood prevention measures for the county.
Our environment correspondent David Gregory looks back now at a week in 2007 that in many ways would change the Midlands forever. Torrential rain causes chaos.
Flooding has caused unprecedented disruption and misery.
Friday morning, and where there's a rainbow, there's rain, and it just didn't stop all day.
Homes have been flooded, children rescued from schools, and tonight there are families stranded in cars, marooned in floodwater.
And in the forecast, a hint of much more to come.
If you are planning to travel this evening, basically I think I'd forget it.
The authorities worked all through Friday night, but across the region, rivers began to burst their banks.
Flooding has caused unprecedented disruption and misery right across the Midlands.
Got one person with special needs that needs to be evacuated.
This Evesham woman was one of more than 100 people winched to safety in the largest helicopter rescue effort this country has ever seen in peacetime. Sunday brought a break in the rain, but the problems it caused were really only just beginning.
Hundreds of thousands of people without clean water, as many as 500,000 whose power supply is under threat. The bare facts as the region struggles to cope.
Thousands spent Sunday night in rescue centres.
There's a little bit of anger about what they call disaster tourism. There's a house not so far from where I'm standing right now where they're so fed up they put up a banner and it says, "If you're not here to help, please go home. Thank you."
With water bowsers on the streets, the rescue services began to search for bodies. You sent us pictures that showed the scale of the flooding, but the waters were receding, and by Thursday, Kath Mackey was able to get inside the now notorious Mythe water treatment plant.
Water was literally just at the bottom edge of the beam here, so there was nothing that you could see of the basement.
As contact was re-established with cut-off communities, amazing stories emerged, like the farmer who swam all of his 1,000 pigs to safety.
2 or 3 people, one on each ear, holding her head above the water, just pulling her through. Pretty unpleasant, but yeah, we managed to get them all out, amazingly.
From above, a week on, a snapshot of a land still beleaguered. Picking up the pieces quite literally at a caravan park near Evesham. The water is receding, but it's putting up a fight.
A week on, and thousands were still without water, but things weren't getting any worse. The Midlands could begin slowly returning to normal.
And David joins us now in the studio. David, that week really changed the attitude of the authorities towards flooding, didn't it?
It did, Jackie, here in the Midlands, and there's evidence of part of that change on the screen behind me. These are just some of the new flood defence schemes built in the last 5 years. As one manager in the Environment Agency said to me, this is a sign of how the agency changed post-2007, becoming much more can-do, looking for new innovative ways to get flood defences built. And Kempsey, opening tomorrow, is really the last major post-2007 project in many ways, protecting 150 homes in the village from the River Severn and the Hatfield Brook.
The scheme here protects the village from flooding by preventing the River Severn water going up the valley and flooding the homes here. So we have a large penstock, a gate, that will close down at times of flood, and then we have a large pumping station that will then pump out the water from the little brook and the surface water coming through the village out into the River Severn.
And the pumps have already been tried out during the recent wet weather. And as you can see, any moment now, there they go, they worked perfectly. Kempsey and all these schemes are really the legacy of the 2007 floods. 2,000 homes now protected by more than 20 new schemes.
David, thank you very much. Impressive stuff.
And you can share your memories about the events of 5 years